Is there an age limit in France for a Mutuelle?
No, but some providers won't provide a Mutuelle for people, say, over 75 or over 80.
Okay. What's a common mistake that you see people making?
One of the ones that stands out for me the most is when people feel that they cannot own or insure a car for their second residence. So if you have a second home in France, but it's your only home in France, then you can both register a car at that address and get insurance for it in your name at that address. There's a lot of misinformation out there. It's not a problem, it's not illegal, and you can definitely do that.
Okay, that's good to know because I have heard a lot of people saying that actually. Okay. Okay, quick and easy one. What's your favourite French food?
I'd have to say duck. I live in the Gers.
Yes.
And so it's almost, I think it would be illegal not to like duck, but roast duck breast, definitely my favourite.
Yeah, I must admit that's something I order almost every time I'm at a restaurant in France, so I'm in agreement with you on that. Okay, what's the most embarrassing French language mistake that you've made?
I think it's probably got to be the classic, which I'm fairly sure everybody has made, which is je suis chaud.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
And I did make it when I was younger, so perhaps it was easier for me to then say I am super hot.
Brilliant. Okay, if you could live anywhere in France, where would it be?
Do you know, I live just outside Toulouse, and my husband and I at the moment are looking at where do we want to live when we retire, and I struggle to look beyond Toulouse. It's my favourite city, it's my favourite place. There are other places I like to visit, but Toulouse, I just love its vibe. It's kind of international, young, kind of community,
nice city.
and I love it.
Nice city, and you're not far from the mountains and the Pyrenees as well.
You can get to the beach for the day, you can go to the mountains for the day. It's got everything for me.
How long does it take to get a social security number and a carte vitale in France?
It's really difficult, isn't it, that one? It really is. It's a difficult one to answer. I have seen somebody get a social security number in less than 6 weeks.
Oh wow.
I've seen that happen. I've also seen it take well over a year.
Yeah.
I think what I would recommend is the better prepared you can be with your file, the easier it will be. So make sure you've got copies of all your documents. Send your whole file recommandé avec accuse de réception to your local CPAM office. Make sure you send each file individually, don't join them up. And make sure you've got like the most recent documents you can, and I think all of that will help. But sometimes things just get stuck in the system, so don't be afraid to ask what's happened to it and what can I do to help.
Okay, that's good advice. Right, can a French mutual insurance refuse to insure somebody with existing health conditions?
Again, there's always a kind of it depends. Generally, no.
Okay.
So for all of the mainstream mid-ground mutuelles, they're legally obliged to not discriminate. So you're not going to be able to be refused cover because of a pre-existing condition. You know, it's a double-edged sword, because what that does mean is as you get older, the general risk increases and the price will increase. And so if you're in super good health, you're going to spend the same on a mutuelle as somebody who's got really significant health conditions. Also, if you go for a very, very high-end mutuelle, there may well be a health questionnaire, and that might have an impact.
Okay.
But in the mid-ground, where most people are looking, you're going to be fine.
Okay, well that's reassuring. Okay, post-Brexit, can I still get an S1 form?
You can. The agreement is still in place. You need, generally there are some exceptions, but I think for most people, when they're looking at S1, we're talking of government pensionable age, retirement age. If you're from the UK, the best people to speak to are the DWP Overseas Healthcare team. They're very knowledgeable and very helpful.
Okay, that's
just
good.
One of the things to say with the S1 is to remember that when you're using that, it is a permanent transfer of your healthcare rights from your original state, so generally the UK, to France. So it's not necessarily suitable if you're looking to move backwards and forwards and you want to keep the UK as your main place of residence.
So you really do need to wait until you're definitely ready to move.
It's quite a permanent decision.
Okay, that's good advice. What about if your spouse has an S1 and you don't? Are you able to piggyback
You
off
are
that?
indeed, yeah. Again,
Okay, that's good.
DWP overseas healthcare team,
Okay.
the people to speak to, and you can piggyback on their rights until you're of a pensionable age to request
Okay.
that in your own right.
That's great. And do you still need a mutuelle in France if you have an S1?
Yes, and that is
Okay.
a common misconception. When you have an S1, it's what that changes is who's paying for your healthcare,
Right.
not what healthcare you get. Everybody in France gets an S1, a carte vitale on the same basis. The healthcare we all get is the same. What changes is who's paying for it.
Okay, that makes sense. Right, is there an age limit in France for a mutuelle?
No, but some providers won't provide a mutuelle for people, say, over 75 or over 80.
Okay.
AXA, we don't have any age limits at all. So
Okay,
we
that's
kind of
good
go
to
through,
know.
and we've got really good prices for people of retirement
Well,
age.
yeah.
It's one of our core markets. But
Okay, that's
some,
great.
you might find a refusal, but that's definitely a commercial decision, not a legal decision.
Okay, that's good to know. Okay, brilliant.